Today we are going to talk all about the beautiful new Sun Princess. We are actually on board right now, so we're going to share our experience and our very first impressions thus far. And I will also tell you about when we arrived in Athens last night and what we did this morning. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Thursday. It is March 14th of 2024. And first of all, we arrived in Athens yesterday at about 5 p.m. and we got our luggage and everything. We got a car service that we had already hired to take us from the airport into Athens. That was, I believe, €51. And it is very close. It's a little bit more, but very close to what the flat rate is for taxis to take you from the airport to the center of Athens. We stayed at a hotel called the Athens Gate. I had done a lot of looking about where else I wanted to try. We've stayed at several hotels in Athens and I wanted to try a new one, and I am so glad that we tried the Athens Gate. The Athens Gate Hotel is situated very conveniently to the Acropolis, to the Temple of Olympian Zeus, to the Plaka, that whole area right there that a lot of people want to visit when they come to Athens, and we truly enjoyed it. Gordon's posted some photos of the view out of our balcony last night, and then once we were situated in our hotel, we went for a walk down to the Plaka, got some yummy food to eat, looked in a few shops, and we were able to see the Acropolis all lit up for the night. It was absolutely beautiful. During this time of the year, the Acropolis does close earlier, so make sure that when you're doing your travel planning, you realize the hours on some of these locations. And we did know that it was closed. By the time we got here, it was too late to get to go up to the top, but when we come in October, we're going to do that. Now, we had a wonderful time. Then this morning we got up, we went for a walk. Gordon also shared some photos. We had breakfast up on the rooftop restaurant on the top of the Athens Gate Hotel. Oh my goodness, what a spectacular view, and we couldn't have asked for a more perfect day here. So we did that. I had a really nice morning. Then we headed over here. I would say we were getting on board the Sun Princess right around noon here in Athens. And as we pulled up, it's really kind of fun. Celebrity is also in port today. If you follow any of the other vloggers, Emma is actually on that ship today. And so coming around the corner, we were so excited in the taxi when I caught a glimpse of a huge ship with that kind of blue like Princess is known for. I knew that it was the Sun Princess. So we pulled right up, got out, and a few things struck me right off. First of all, what a beautiful ship. She is spectacular. Absolutely, hands down. You can see that sphere there on the side of it. You can see the dome on the top. It is really cool. She is a beautiful, beautiful ship, and she is huge. She is really large. When you think of like the Celebrity Edge class ships, she's not as big as that. When you think of Wonder of the Seas, she is not as large as that either, but she is the largest ship that Princess has, their very first LNG ship, and it's a really big deal that they now have the Sun Princess. So a few things to think about, and that really stood out to me as we got on board. It does feel an awful lot like a regular Princess ship. That made me really happy. It still has that same feeling. It has some, as you go on different cruise lines and you go on their cruise ships, you kind of get a feel for the vibe of different cruise lines, right? So I feel a little bit of vibe of Celebrity here. I feel a little bit of vibe of Norwegian here, especially in the decor. But overall, when you think about how they are lining some things up, they are truly changing some things, I really think, for the better with Princess. Some things that I think will be different with Princess, and then some things that you just wonder what their goals are with that, and we'll have to see. And so truly, if someone who really loves to sail on Princess, will they love going on this ship? That's what I'm going to be able to tell you by the end of this 5 days. Okay, so stick with me. But a few things that I noticed right off that I think are really worth noting. One is that truly the ship is laid out differently. And it's not good and it's not bad. I'll learn more about the functionality this week. But one thing that has really been on my mind a lot is the Piazza, because the Piazza really sets Princess apart when it comes to cruise ships. And the way that they historically have done it is you've had that ground level of the Piazza, you've had your international cafe there, you've had it where they played music, and then you'd had the balconies overlooking it from the upper levels. You've had the balconies where people could stand and enjoy watching what was going on in the piazza, as well as comfortable seating. Well, the piazza is completely different. It has this enormous screen in the middle, and I'm excited to see that in action, but I do want you to know that on the area surrounding it, there is a whole lot more seating. It's different seating than we've had before. It's not so many of the small tables with individual chairs, but you have like some chairs, but more like, what are those, like little sofa things? Bench seats, things like that. So the seating is a little bit different. It's spread out more, but it goes all the way from one side of the ship to the other side of the ship. So as you enter there and you're on deck 7 there, the base level of the piazza, you've got your O'Malley's, you've got a cocktail bar, you've got the coffee grinds place over as you face the front of the piazza, you've got that, and then you've got tons and tons of seating. When you go up the next level, you've got your kai sushi and some other places, and then you go up to level 9, and when you hit level 9, you've got your international cafe, you've got your future cruise desk, you've got your shore excursion desk, combination. Want to hear what they're saying?
Oh, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's the captain on the bridge. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day here in Piraeus in Athens. Certainly a beautiful day with the weather, and we hope you thoroughly enjoyed. We are just trying to account for a few people. As soon as we've done that and the gangway's in, the doors are secure, we'll be singling up the lines, getting underway. Manoeuvring this evening, we did turn them back in this morning in the early hours as we came in, so we are kind of pointed in the right direction. Once we let go of the lines, coming in short way off the dock, moving astern as we bring the bow to starboard, and once we're lined up with the exit channel, putting the pods ahead, moving out through the breakwaters. It's a fairly narrow entrance. We have about 50 or so meters either side, 150 feet. Once we're clear of the breakwaters, the pilot will disembark, and then we'll be turning initially onto a southerly course, following the traffic lanes off the port of Piraeus here, and then a little bit later this evening, turning again to port onto a general easterly courses overnight through the Greek islands in the Aegean Sea towards Turkey, and the next port, Piazza. As we go this evening, we are going to blow the special love boat whistle, so if you're on the open decks, be aware and listen out for that. We're hoping to set our love boat whistle as we depart. It is 195 nautical miles to Piazza, 17 knots required, so fairly high speed, and the sunset this evening at 6:31, so hoping to get out before that. There is quite a lot of ferry traffic here, which takes priority, so once we do have our clearance slot, and as I say, all the checks complete, we'll be getting underway. Sunrise tomorrow morning off Piazza at 7:22. The latest weather en route looks very nice, a pleasant evening, very light, following westerly winds and very slight seas. Piazza itself, 11 to 16 degrees Celsius, 52 to 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy skies with sunny spells, and the chance of some showers in the morning, those clearing at lunchtime. There is 1 hour forward on the clocks overnight tonight. I promise that's the last of the clocks forward. So 1 hour forward on the clocks tonight, and that takes us to the correct time for Piazza. Once again, welcome back. As soon as we can, we'll be getting underway, and I wish you a very pleasant evening and a great day tomorrow.
Okay, we're going to run and do our sail away, and we'll be back to finish our thoughts. Okay. And I'm back. Earlier we had to run so that we could do the live sail away. So if you've missed that, make sure that you go back and watch that, because the sunset was absolutely wonderful, as well as we had a lot of really good questions, and I appreciate all of you who came. Now let's go back to where I was talking about the piazza for a minute. I kind of laid it out for you. So this evening, as we walked on our way to dinner, and as we were coming back and just seeing everything that was going on there, it still looks like it's a very central part of the ship. It is I would say it is the heart of the ship there, just like we are used to the piazza being. However, usually there would be beautiful music playing. Both times when we went through, one time it was a silent disco. That's where people wear the headphones and then they dance to whatever music is on their headphones. And then when we came back later, there wasn't very much going on there, and that was at about not quite, maybe like 9:45. We felt like we were a little bit late to go to the show in the arena that starts at 10 o'clock. So we're going to make sure that we catch the other ones of those. Dinner took a really long time, so I'll talk to you about that more in a minute. But the piazza area there is a lot like the Piazza was before, but it is a little bit different. And so I'm anxious to see how that pans out for the next few days. It'll be interesting to see. Tomorrow is another port day, so I don't know if we're going to have lots of rehearsals again like we were seeing when we boarded the ship today. But the Piazza area is a little bit different. If you are someone that has thoroughly enjoyed going to the International Cafe, getting something to eat, coming and sitting down, watching the people dance in the Piazza, watching people, whether it was the musicians, whoever was performing there, if you have really enjoyed that, it is going to be different this from now on. The seating that is in the Piazza area there around deck 9 there, where the International Cafe is kind of like risers. You go sit there, but it's not like having your own seat. It's bench seating all the way around there. So if you're going to go sit so that you can see down into the Piazza, you're going to have to sit on that kind of seating. And I'll be honest, that's not my first choice when I'm trying to relax and have my drink with something to eat, no matter what time of day it is. And so I'm wondering if they installed that kind of seating more for people to watch performances that are down in the Piazza, but it just doesn't vibe with going and getting something to eat or drink and then coming and sitting down to relax and enjoy beautiful music. So that is something that's a little bit different, and we will pay attention to how it goes the next few days. Another thing that I noticed that is very similar is the pool area. Now on the Sun Princess here, I think that there are 5, and the 2 that are up in that pool area are very similar to what we've seen before. One of them is just a smaller pool that's deeper, and then you've got the other one that has a deep area, and then it also has the shallow area, so if you want to put your lounge chair there, you can sit there and put your feet in, however you want to do that. Those are the 2 kind of pools there, and I will say for a ship that holds this many passengers, to me they seem a little bit small, but I also think that they're probably trying to spread things out a little bit, because I think, like I said, I think there are 5 different pools on this ship, so hopefully none of them will get too crowded. I will comment and say that truly I think that there are more children on this cruise than I am used to seeing on a Princess cruise in March. I don't know. I have never done a Princess cruise in March in Europe before. They generally don't run them. This is, a rare occurrence because it is an inaugural. And so there are quite a few children on board. And so I'll pay attention when we have a sea day to see how full everything seems. One mom that I got to talk to on board today was saying how they don't quite have everything up and going with the kids clubs yet, that they're trying to finish that construction. As they finish the construction, they don't quite have all the supplies that they need to do everything, and so that'll be hopefully coming soon. But anyway, that's the situation with the pools. Overall, I think pools on cruise ships seem to be getting a little bit smaller, and I'm not really quite sure why, because I think people really like to go swimming or at least lounge by the pool when they go somewhere that has warm weather. Now, the next thing that I wanted to mention really quickly is the movie Under the Stars. Movies Under the Stars is something that Princess is truly known for, and I feel like Princess is not just known for movies Under the Stars itself, because you've got other cruise lines that have the big screens outside. For example, when I was on Carnival Celebration in November, they have a big screen, but the area that is open for people to sit and view the movies is a lot larger on Princess ships, I feel like, than I have seen on some of the others. I know on Celebrity, when you think of those Edge class ships, you've got the area that's got that big screen in it there, but the area that you've got for people to sit and view that is much smaller as well. So I believe that Princess does a really good job in having such an open area with so much space for people to view the movie. Now, a lot of people, and you would be surprised at how many people asked me to figure this out on this ship, how many people noticed that the loungers that they saw in photos in the pool area there didn't have the cushions on them. And indeed, they don't have the cushions on them. But when it gets to be towards evening and they are setting up the pool area for movie Under the Stars, out come the cushions. So I feel like if you are someone that really enjoys movies Under the Stars, that has not changed at all. I wasn't up there to see if they had popcorn, but I feel like overall that hasn't changed. One big difference that I've noticed is ever since Princess brought out those premier desserts that go along with, you get 2 a day if you get the plus package, and you get unlimited a day if you get the premier package. When they brought them out, they talked about how they would be made out of gelato. Well, then we found out that on the ships that they don't make the gelato, you don't get the gelato, you just get the ice cream. Well, here on the Sun Princess, there is a gelateria, and so we thought we would ask, and I wanted to know so that I could tell you if the gelato desserts are included in the Premier package, and they are not. So seems like things are changing with that a little bit, and it is per charge. I think it's $1.50 per scoop, and I've got pictures of it here, and truly they didn't have my favorites, and so I wasn't even tempted to pay for one, but I did want to know if they're included. So it sounds like the gelato desserts that they initially started with are no longer included in the package. So let me know, those of you, and I can find out when we go on the Discovery in April, if all of those places that have the gelato other than the Sun Princess, if that is included with the Premier package. I feel like I have heard from people that that is included, so I don't know if this is a late change or just a change with this ship, okay? The other thing that is really different that stood out to me is the way they do the main dining rooms here on the Sun Princess. We have talked about before that there's those 3 decks, and you've got deck 6, 7, and 8. They're aft, and so indeed it is a beautiful view of the wake of the ship. Princess has done an excellent job with the windows. So as you look out the back, it is a beautiful, beautiful view. The pillars come down, they are vertical, and so you can see you have an uninterrupted view for a really long ways. It is absolutely beautiful. But here's what the differences are. When you dine in deck 6, that is going to be traditional dining. You're going to have 2 seatings. You're going to have your 5 o'clock, your 7:30, and that is when you come to eat. You're going to keep your table. You're going to keep your servers, you know, whichever crew members are that attend to you at your table, those are not going to change during the week or during your cruise. Another change that I think is really noteworthy is what they are doing with the main dining rooms here on the Sun Princess. On the Sun Princess, we've got those 3 main dining rooms, and I've talked to you about this before, how deck 6, deck 7, and deck 8, and it's in the aft section of the ship. Deck 6, it turns out, is going to be traditional dining. So they're going to have a seating at 5 o'clock, a seating at 7:30. You come in at the given time, you sit down at your table, and your wait staff is not going to change during the course of your cruise. That is going to be when you eat, and you can count on your table being there for you. Now, deck 7 is going to be, you want to make a reservation. You want to dine at 6:40, you make that reservation, that's where you're going to go eat, or whatever time it is that you want to eat. Deck 8, that deck, it's like the American diner there. You go there, they've got a set menu, and if you want to go wear shorts to dinner, you can go wear shorts to dinner. You don't need to have a reservation. That's going to be in deck, the main dining room there on deck 8. The other interesting thing is that when you come into that deck 8 main dining room, over in the corner on deck 8 is going to be Spellbound, and on deck 7, I should have added, is going to be where the chef's table is. And so as you have these different, however it is that you decide that you want to eat when you're on your cruise, however you'd like your dining to run, you will choose based on that. So you're not going to walk in to deck 6 there at 7:40 and wear your shorts and sit down and expect the American diner. With that American diner, you can have lunch at dinner, you can have breakfast at lunch. The menu is going to be available all day long. So if we get the chance to eat there, I will show you. I'll try to get a picture of the menu anyway, but it's going to be a really different experience, but it's still part of the main dining room. Does all that make sense? So it'll be fun to see. Now here's the really cool part though, and I do think that this is going to be good. They say that this is going to trickle down to the other princess ships. So if you are someone who loves that main dining, that you have the traditional, that you're going to go sit down at 5:30 every night, you're going to be able to do that. And I think it'll be really nice because it'll be much more streamlined to be able to do that, rather than thinking, okay, we've got to make a reservation, then we've got to ask, can we please have that table? Can we please have the same servers? It's going to already be built into the system. So it's going to be really fun to hear when that rolls out across the different ships. Now this evening we ate in deck 6 in the Horizon dining room there, as they call it, and it was at 7:30 that we ate our dinner, and we were part of the group that we got to come on board with, and it took a long time to eat dinner. We didn't leave. It was like 9:45, and like I said, we went over and I looked, and the arena theater was very full. So we just decided that we're not going to dine that late for some other nights so that we can get to go experience that, so I can tell you about it. it, but it took a really long time in order to get our dinner. As far as the food goes, it was okay. When we ate in the buffet earlier today, we tried that out. It was actually really good. It was the best buffet food I have ever had on Princess, so that was definitely elevated. But the main dining room, it was okay. I chose the fettuccine Alfredo, and they need to call the Island Princess and ask for the recipe for the fettuccine Alfredo. But I think it was okay. And the nice people that we were sitting with, I asked them, the two ladies that were sitting next to Gordon and I, and they agreed that it was okay. It was okay. And so I am really hopeful that maybe that'll be looking up, and maybe we just caught a bad night. The menu was not remarkable. I posted that over on Facebook, and just the overall taste was okay. And so I really wonder, I've been thinking about this an awful lot, and I want to hear what you all have to say about it in the comments, because as we hear of more and more, so much more specialty dining being offered, really, can a cruise ship support having 3 main dining rooms as well as having all of these specialty restaurants? I've been thinking about that an awful lot. And of course, all the cruise lines make more money when we pay for our specialty dining. So it just begs you to wonder if they are just happy to have the food in the main dining room be okay, because they know that then people, if they want a really nice dinner, they will go pay for the specialty dining. It's this whole big thing, and I want to know what you think about it. So we did get to go into the Dome tonight, and it's really cool. They've got all of these lights, and it was when it was already dark outside, and you could see the pool that is in the dome there, under the dome. So it looks like a really cool space. They've got a place called the Cascade Waterfall. Is it the Cascade Waterfall Bar? I believe is what it's called, or the Cascade Bar. Makes it look like water's coming down, but it's really not. Funny enough, we walked in there, and you know me, I always want a sunshine daiquiri, and apparently a lot of the bars are not completely stocked yet, because when we were up by the pool first thing today, I asked for a sunshine daiquiri, and he's like, we don't have the ingredients to make that here. And that's when he said all the bars are not stocked yet. And so I said, well, do you know a bar that does make that? And he didn't know. And so anyway, we walk into this Cascade Bar this evening, and I said, oh, this is what I want. And so right away the waiter was like, don't you want something else? And I said, well, if you have that, that's what I'd really like. This bartender turns around and says, I will make that for you. And she remembered me. And when I saw her, I remembered her too from like 2 years ago. And I was just tickled pink to see her. She made me a sunshine daiquiri. She made one for Gordon. She shook it. She didn't put it in the blender. It was really great. And so I just wanted to say hats off. Her name is April. If anybody is listening from Princess, she is exceptional. And I know that Princess tried to pull some of their most remarkable crew members here at the startup of a brand new ship, and they have a gem in her. I am really glad that they chose her. I'm glad she got to be here, and it's going to be a pleasure to get more sunshine daiquiris during the course of my cruise here. It was a little bit, it was just really fun to get to see her. So we're having a great time here on board. It'll be really interesting to see what we think by the end of the week. I'm kind of thinking that this is really a pivotal moment for Princess. I think that they are reaching and trying to do something, and it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. The Dome is going to be very interesting. I hope that we get to see a show there while we're on board so that I can see that in play. But I think that I get the impression that on some things they are still trying to find their way and trying to figure out how to do things. And it's just going to be really interesting. And to me, it's going to be really interesting to see how things have changed on board here by the time she makes it to the United States. Because I think some things are just trying out here. They'll see how well it goes. You've got all these guests coming on board. They're trying to still finish. There are construction workers all over the place. As we went down to dinner this evening, there were 2 sitting on the floor by the elevators. There are a lot of construction workers still on board this ship. So it's just I think it's going to not only be a construction kind of a morphing thing, but I definitely think that some of these experiences are going to change moving forward as they figure out some things about the space that they've got, as they figure out just how everything is going to run and how to make it run the best. And I'm excited to see how it goes. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, will you please hit that subscribe button? And also, if you appreciate my update, give this video a thumbs up or share it somewhere on social media where you think people would enjoy hearing all about the new Sun Princess. Alrighty, I want to say that tonight on our live, one of our Let's Go family members asked the question. She said, when you walk on board the ship, does it feel like it usually does when you walk on board a princess ship? Now, granted, I have sailed on Princess way more than I have sailed on any other cruise line, but there is a feeling that comes with boarding a princess ship. And really, I believe that Princess is to be commended for that. That is remarkable, and I think it's something special that goes with it. And I would say probably, and I would love to hear from you who have sailed other cruise lines a lot, do you have that same feeling? When you go embark on a ship under that kind of whatever cruise line that is, do you feel that same thing? I am guessing that a lot of people probably do, just because of all the similarities. Well, today as we boarded, we actually, we boarded on a day that is not the normal embarkation day. As we walked up to the ship, it felt like the normal thing. We walked up, the crew member was there to greet us. We went up the ramp, and the nice people were there with security to greet us and welcome us on board. That part felt the same. But as we walked around the ship, before we went up to the top deck, it did feel different. The cabins look a little bit different. The hallways look different. The Piazza is different. All of these things are different. But when I got up to the pool deck, I felt much more like I had been here before. Does that make sense? You've got your movies under the star screen. They were playing music. The pools were there, and the basic outline is very similar. So that part I was really happy to see. It doesn't mean that I don't think the other is not okay. It's just really different. And so I am really hoping that by the time I get to the end of this cruise and maybe sail on her again, I will know if I really want to keep doing it on this ship, or if I just want to look forward to going on a Royal Class ship again, or go back to the smaller ship like your Island Princess or Coral Princess. And I really think that those ships are never going to go out of style because of the places they can go. Like, we're taking the Coral Princess through the Panama Canal on our group cruise next February because she can go through the historic locks. That's remarkable. That's really important. Same with the Island Princess. This ship, though, interestingly enough, was built, she can go through the new locks in the Panama Canal. She was built so that she can navigate Alaska okay if she ever ends up in Alaska. So it's a really great ship. I'm not throwing out the baby with the bathwater at all. I just want you to know it's a little bit different. But you know what? Sometimes when I try new things, I find out that I really like them more than I ever guessed. And so I'm hoping and I'm planning that that's how it's going to be with this ship. So put your questions in the comments below. Don't miss our live sail away. It's going to be, all my days are messed up trying to think of what date is in the US, what date is here. So on Friday, we're going to sail away from Ephesus, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. And I'll see you here again tomorrow. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.